What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter, and today we're going to break down the fall of 600, because that's a lot of things that a lot of people be asking me about that crew. I've been studying the drill culture for a while, and it's a lot of crews in Chicago when it comes to the drill movement, but I'm not going to notice 600 kind of stood out quick because Lil Durk and Chief Keef was affiliated with these guys. Even though they don't got 600 in their name, they very affiliated with them. C-Day, part of the 600 movement, he was actually arrested for that crime with Rondo number 9 at Chief Keef's house. Chief Keef had a real close relationship with C-Day. He was also real close with D-Rose too. He was one of the guys who made that name famous in his songs when they popped off. We all know Lil Durk kind of signed L.A. Capone and cuffed Rondo number 9. So that's the reason why we're going to focus on them today. When I kind of got whiff of 600, I kind of went to their whole movement, researched it, documented all the things so I could pay attention to it real wise. And I noticed one thing about that. A lot of their members who people screaming songs, a lot of the people from their neighborhood that became famous because of their names, 600 didn't have a lot of rappers. That's kind of crazy. I noticed a guy by the name of Baldy 600. So we're going to go 600, okay? I noticed a guy named Baldy. I'm pretty sure you guys know who that is. Baldy, I hear a lot of people say Baldy World and shit like that. I hear this guy was real respected in his neighborhood. Somebody told me he was real close with Fredo Santana. And Fredo Santana and him had like one of those real close relationships. I was also told that he was close to Chief Keef too, even though I think he might be a little bit older than Chief Keef. I'm not sure, but the people told me they were real close to them. I believe he died in 2011. Actually, that same year, a guy by the name of Lil Steve died too. I'm pretty sure we know who that is. I think this is Memo 600 brother, okay? So this is Memo brother. He was actually killed in 2011 too. He's one of the real respected members. A lot of people yell his name in songs. They kind of renamed the area King Drive, Steve Drive. He was real close with Dotarachi too. That's why I thought it was weird when Memo 600 got to beefing with Dotarachi. I really didn't understand that because Dotarachi was supposed to be close friends with your brother. That kind of concerned me, seeing like Memo 600 was beefing with a lot of people in those crews. So when I looked at that, I was like, damn, because I hear those names a lot. Steve Drive for King Drive. Baldy World. So that kind of intrigued me. I believe a couple years later, a guy by the name of L.A. Capone lost his life. Now, we're going to stick on L.A. Capone because I believe that's when everything changed. We're going to go L.A. Capone. I believe he loses his life. I could be wrong, but I believe in 2014. Maybe 2013. I don't want to be wrong, but I know it was September 26th. He ended up losing his life, okay? Now, I noticed once he lost his life, it seemed like the fall came. It feeling like the demise came once he lost his life, okay? I noticed one thing about L.A. Capone video. A lot of the guys who end up losing their life later on were all in his videos. Now, I'm not sure if the internet targeted those guys or if those guys were already hot in communities because they could have did things that we don't know about now. I don't want to act like it was just the rap videos that took their life. Some of these niggas was doing dirt in their communities. But like I was saying, though, I noticed that they were all on the internet and there was a lot of younger members because right after L.A. Capone lost his life, we seen 600 Breezy drop Don't Get Smoked, okay? So Breezy didn't lose his life. He's still alive. We're going to go 600 Breezy. He dropped, oh, my bad, spelled that wrong. We got 600 Breezy. He dropped Don't Get Smoked, okay? When that video dropped, a little bit later down the line, once this video dropped, Lil Boo was shot and killed. Stello was shot and killed. Okay? Now, I know these guys might have been known in the neighborhood, but they wasn't known on the internet worldwide. A lot of people believe 600 Breezy Don't Get Smoked video targeted these guys. It showed the world who these guys was. And then another thing that concerned me was this guy wasn't a rapper. They wasn't a rapper, even though they was on the internet with beefs and going back and forth with other crews, it seemed like they were just on some street shit. They wasn't monetizing, making money off of any of these beats. So this looked like this was strictly gang banging, okay? This is strictly gang banging. Now, before we go down the line, I want you guys to understand, once he died, those two end up losing their lives. Rondo number 9 called a prison sentence. Rondo, which is another member. Then we got C-Day, which is another member. Then we got D-Rose, which is another member. These are the youngest, these are like the young people in 600. These three right here, these are the young ones in 600. All three of those called 30, 40-year prison sentences, okay? So all those guys are locked up, facing a long time. A lot of people say that these guys are locked up in retaliation for his death, okay? All right? So let's keep going, okay? I want you guys to understand. What I noticed is 1 young person, 2 young person, 3 young person, 4 young person, 5 young person, 6 young person, 7 young person. So once I looked at this board, the first thing came to my mind was I believe they were misled. I believe that the OGs didn't really bag them up the right way and give them the type of mentality that they needed. First off, they looked at E-Day, which is E-Day. A lot of people calls him the creator of 600. Whether he created this shit or not, he's the face of it, okay? We ain't finna get into all that. We're gonna say E-Day is the creator. This is the guy who pretty much invented the snitch K. He don't like rocking with snitches and none of this shit here. He knew that Rondo number 9 lawyer was doing some weird shit, right? To his brother, okay? He knew this before anyone knew this. He went on Vlad TV and shouted out Rondo number 9 and dissed Tay 600 even though it wasn't no paperwork. He went on Say Cheese TV, shouted out Rondo number 9. He disrespected me over this shit because I interviewed Tay 600. Just think about this. This guy all along knew that Rondo number 9 was doing some weird shit because he claimed he had the paperwork. So if he had the paperwork, he seen that shit for anybody else seen it. But he's so caught up in wanting to be so friendly with Lil Durk and Chief Keef that I feel like he might have sold his brother out for the internet shit. Now, I'm not saying I could guarantee that. Maybe he know things that I don't know. You got to understand that because a lot of people say the paperwork. Look, I want to be honest. I done seen niggas tell without being in that paperwork. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, I understand that. I'm not sure if the paperwork going to stand because people want to see that paperwork. So if they don't got the paperwork, then it could be iffy. You know, street dudes want to see the paper. If they don't see the paper, then they're not going to believe it. But I am going to tell you, I have seen people tell without being in that paperwork. But I'm not saying that about Tay 600. I'm just saying what you did see was his lawyer doing some weird shit. Now, Rondo didn't tell on C-Day. Rondo didn't point C-Day out and say, man, he did that shit. But the fact that appeal paperwork, the lawyer is saying, man, look, my client ain't did nothing. Y'all already know who did that shit. I don't know why y'all putting my client in that shit. That's not all the way telling, but it's something about that that don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that E-Day was a big homie. He led them wrong. Way, way wrong. Then you got a Lil Durk who was a big homie. And we seen what happened to most of his artists from L.A. Capone, OTF Nunu, Chino, King Von. In my opinion, these guys blew up too fast. Chief Keef, E-Day, Lil Durk was kind of like the managers of this crew here, if you ask me. The thing is, when your big homie is 23 and 24 years old, I'm not sure if they can lead you the right way. I'm not sure if they're going to tell you, bro, we're not going to do that. We ain't going to move that way and shit like that. I believe that's what happened to Team 600 because I noticed a lot of young members lost their life and the older members are still here and most of them didn't lead them right. They went through the BDK, GDK movement. L.A. Capone lost his life over the BDK, GDK movement. Then E-Day went and did a song with Rico Reckless. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't push the culture forward to end the BDK, GDK war. Maybe that's what it needs to do. But it was people who died over that shit because you guys tricked them into thinking they shouldn't be enemies cool with those guys. First off, majority of these people who be in these wars never met each other. Even though they live 2-3 blocks down the street, they never seen each other. They never beefed with each other. A lot of these beefs are inherited from past situations. Shit that your father went through, shit that your brother went through. I always tell people this here. That guy down the street struggling. He got 7 kids. He on the corner hustling. He doing this. He got rent. He got bills. He got this. That nigga struggling just like you. That ain't your op. That's your brother. Why are you out here murdering and killing people who going through the same fucking struggle as you? And that's why I feel like those guys were misguided, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. It was some gang banging involved in that shit, too. Because a lot of these niggas be in these neighborhoods doing things, and then when they become rich and famous, the shit that you did in your past just doesn't wipe out. So it's a lot of things that make me feel like it helped bring down 600. But in my opinion, being led the wrong way, not having no big homies, and just the whole fame shit. Sometimes these young people don't understand this music business and they'll get caught up in this shit. So that's my opinion. I appreciate the love. Remember, I don't need no donations. It's cold outside. You might got to go get the hot chocolates with the marshmallows. You might got to go get some new jackets. You know, the winter just came, so it'd be holes in them socks and shit. Y'all had them socks for a long time. So you might got to go get a new pack of the socks, a new pack of the undies and shit like that. Do that with that money. You ain't got to send me shit. All I'm asking you to do is hit the like button. When you do that, it make my videos grow and a lot of people be able to see them. I appreciate the love. It's the homie truth. Bleh, bleh.